Greetings and welcome to Connecting with Intent Formula Show. I am your host Muhammad Awais. On this episode, we have a very special guest today. He is founder and CEO at Peripheral Thinkers, Paul Daniels. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Paul Daniels. Paul, welcome.
Oh, I appreciate it, Awais. Thank you very much. I hear the round of applause, so we're doing a great job so far.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Uh, I was I was raised and labeled as a child as slow, dumb, lazy, stupid, an outsider, and those labels followed me through primary school, through university, even into my professional career. And at age 40, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. At that moment, I realized that all of the things that I'd accomplished to that point had been because of the way I think. And that began the next 20-year journey of learning how to translate the super skills that are found within dyslexic innovators so that people without dyslexia can learn and apply those skills.
What is your higher purpose in life?
It's a very big question. I have two goals that are relatively short term, but depending on your age, it's not that short. So, my highest purpose is to ensure that as many people as possible understand peripheral thinking so that they can grasp the fact that they have access to everything they need to achieve anything they can imagine. Everything they need to achieve anything they can imagine right now based on where and how they look. And so the higher purpose right now is to get to 100,000 leaders by the end of 2025 and 1 million leaders worldwide by the end of 2030 with the message of peripheral thinking.
What have been top three greatest challenges that you have had to overcome?
Well, the first one was learning to discount the labels that were provided by other people about being lazy and a daydreamer and stupid and an outsider. That was the first. The second challenge that I had to overcome was learning how to explain the way I think. Up to age 39, I had done very well with companies, et cetera, but the challenge was explaining how I came up with the solution. I was solving problems for people, 31 industries, 27 countries, but they still saw me as an outsider. So that's the second. And then the third challenge has been to overcome has been being able to explain peripheral thinking in terms that neurotypical individuals can understand. Those may not be the greatest challenges. Keeping my hair would have been a great challenge, but I lost it. Being 6 foot tall would have been a great challenge to overcome, but I didn't. So those are the three of the biggest challenges that I can think of.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
In my late 20s, I started a company, my first company, and we had achieved some success and we're growing very quickly, but we had an order that came in. This was a sportswear manufacturing and design company. And we had an order that came in that was larger than our operating capital allowed us. So the only way that I knew how to meet the order was to cut all of my personal expenses. So I lived in my car for several months and lived on $2 a day for food. And I saved all of that and put that money into the production of the order. We succeeded, and the company grew from there. I didn't know how to ask for help, and I didn't know how to raise capital. So the lesson that I learned was how to ask for help, and we recovered by just true grit. Living in my car, so everybody got paid, and living on 2 hot dogs and a Coke each day for months. That was it.
What is the most impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Right now, I'm reading the books From Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks, and it talks about how at different stages in life we have our strengths, but you play different strengths at different times in your life. And I'm moving into another season of life where different strengths that I have are coming up, and those that I had in my youth may not be as important or as strong. And so I'm learning to continue to grow and to bring my strengths and to accept the fact that some of the strengths I have are no longer needed.
What are your goals for the next 12 months?
The next 12 months, I want to add 45,000 leaders to the count of 100,000 that I'm going after. That bring me to about 60,000 by the end of 2024, and that gets me very close to that 100,000 by the end of 2025. Uh, the next goal I have is I'm going to be a grandfather for the very first time in January, and so I'm blocking out one day or one block of time per week to have time with my soon-to-be grandson. And then the other goal is just continuing to learn. I love learning and exploring, so I have 3 trips planned in 2024 to explore different parts of the world, cultures, countries, people, and learn from them so that I can share with other people.
What advice you will give to younger yourself?
I would tell my younger self that the people that labeled you as dumb, slow, lazy, an outsider, whether that was school or more importantly in your professional career, they will come back to you and pay you to speak in front of thousands and thousands of people and to help them grow their companies when they get stuck. They thought you were an outsider and now they need you.
How can we support you?
Well, I appreciate you asking. You can certainly follow me on LinkedIn. I'm Paul Daniels Jr., Paul Daniels Jr. You can also find on my LinkedIn profile a link that says ways I can help. You can join the free community of leaders that get a monthly Peripheral Thinkers newsletter. And if you're in charge of an event or you're a CEO where you found your challenge is not, you're not able to overcome the challenges in a way that used to work, then just connect with me and I'm happy to help.
What would you what would you say about your guest appearance on the show?
Well, it's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed getting to know you. I think you asked terrific questions, and I'm hoping that the audience finds this as valuable as I have getting to know you and seeing your other casts.
Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate for you.
My pleasure.
What closing thoughts would you like to share with our listeners?
Wherever you are right now, know this. This is a fact that you can access everything that you need to achieve anything that you can imagine, anything, when you know where and how to look. There are more answers and questions. There are more choices than challenges. There are more paths than problems, and there's certainly more opportunities than obstacles. Look in your periphery and you'll find them.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. On
My
the
pleasure.
behalf of connecting with the entire Formula community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Muhammad West. Until the next episode, all good.